Tell us about maybe a business problem or a mission goal you set out to address at the FCC, and tell us a little bit about the program.
Sure. So when I arrived at the FCC 3 years ago, they had a situation where they were spending more than 85% of their budget just to maintain the IT systems. It was a case of where we had 207 different IT systems, average age more than 10 years old, and that situation was only going to get worse. Added to that was a challenge that there had been 9 CIOs in 8 years, and so I'm sure that's always a sign for the 10th CIO that things are going swimmingly.
Yeah, that's the old adage, CIO career is over.
Yes. So success was in 2 years, we went from having 207 systems all on-premise that we were maintaining to now 100% of the FCC is either public cloud or commercial service provider.
Wow.
We
Fantastic.
actually don't maintain anything ourselves. That has brought our spend down from being 85% to maintain our systems to being less than 50%.
Wow.
More importantly, in the past, it would have taken 6 or 7 months to get a new prototype if you had come to us with requirements. Now that we're cloud-based, we can actually get you a working prototype in less than 48 hours.
Very cool, very cool. How about some of the challenges along the way?
So the challenges were 80% people, 20% technology. The average person had been at the FCC for 15 and a half years. The average contractor had been at FCC for 19 years. Mm-hmm. And here I am asking them to trust me as CIO number 10 in less than 8 years to make the move to public cloud.
Terrific. You're a great leadoff because, you know, as I mentioned, we have done 145 shows. And when we talk challenges, the issue of people and culture has come up every single time. I mean, with everyone, as opposed to just technology. Any lessons along the way that you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, so to build on what you were saying is, I would say that the number one lesson is bring empathy, bring listening. I think actually the best type of C-suite leader, CIO or anyone, is one that's actually playing the role of counsel and therapist to the organization. And one of the things I like to say is there are no IT projects. There are simply mission projects that have IT baked into them.
I like that. That's good. I'm going to steal. Do you mind if I steal that from time to time? Do you think we will get to the point where we'll get out in front of the issues? I mean, do you think it's getting better?
So I would go to the analogy that in World War II, you would not expect the U.S. government to say we're going to build all the airplanes by ourselves. Yet it seems like with IT, we seem to be doing that to a degree. And what we really need to do is be leveraging what can be provided by the private sector and then be focusing on a mission context. So when we made the move to public cloud, it was partly to get out of the death spiral of just spending too much on maintaining our systems, but it was also a recognition that you will get the many eyes approach of using a public cloud that has their cybersecurity professionals plus your own cybersecurity professionals looking at what you have. Right. So in addition to that, we moved to VDI. And so I assume that my network is, build your network with the assumption that it's already been compromised.
That's a guy, I think that's a good way to look at it.
And then sort of change the conversation from being just about cybersecurity to being about cyber resiliency. Mm-hmm. I think in today's age, you should go to your leadership of any department or agency or in the private sector, your CEO, and say, if you want 100% security, disconnect from the internet, bury it underground, and make sure no human being touches it.
Focus on the resiliency. How fast can we recover?
And engineer with that with minimizing the
dwell time. And talk to, in a language the senior people can understand. Don't necessarily talk about bits and bytes. Talk about risk management. And
it's all about risk management. And then leverage the strengths of what the private sector can provide. Right.